On the eve of what promises to be a critical New York Comic Con, where both the big two will be fully represented and presumably bringing some shocks and surprises to the event, which some of which have already leaked out. And there's a bunch of stuff that we're going to be talking to you guys about on Sunday's show. But as it relates to today, the comics don't stop being published. And before New York Comic Con, we had to make sure that we could get here to you guys to give you our review of this week's comics. They're so big, there's no way we could skip this week of all weeks.
We don't skip.
Yeah, no. And so we're here on a Wednesday to do Pals Pulls. I am joined by Tyler.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's tempted.
No. And I'm Sean. We are going to be talking about 6 of the week's biggest comic book releases. And this is a big week of comic book releases. We've got the first issue of DCKO. Very excited about that. We've got Absolute Batman number 13. That's a pretty important issue, pretty key issue, if you will, the debut of Catwoman. Batman Dark Patterns number 11, the penultimate issue. Green Lantern Corps number 9, the end of the Starbreaker Supremacy arc.
Yeah.
Transformers 25, the debut of Dan Mora and Robert Kirkman on the book. And Punisher number 1, the first new Frank Castle Punisher number 1 we've gotten in a little bit. Lots of big books on tap this week. Jeez.
Didn't we just get a Frank Castle Punisher number 1?
What was it?
The one that you read, the Red Band one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We'll talk
Never
about the
mind
book.
me.
We'll talk about the book because even though that's a Freudian slip it away, that's kind of how I felt about the book, but we'll get there.
Whoops. I've looked on the Discord and I didn't see anybody posting their blind bag results.
Ooh. Did you do it?
Tyler, we're not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. Thank you guys for being here, whether you are live or in the future. Smash the like button if you enjoy what we do around here. It's good to see you guys hanging out with us. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about DCKO number 1. We've been anxiously awaiting this book for a while now. A lot has been made of it. We did the brackets at the beginning of September, I think it was.
Yep.
We did our bracket.
Justice
and now,
League month.
Yeah, yes. And now we are here talking about the book. Scott Snyder on the words, Javi Fernandez on the art, Joshua Williamson getting a story credit. Zermanico did a few pages in here. Alejandro Sanchez on the colors, letters by Hassan Otsman Al-How. I feel like what this first issue was going to be was pretty clear from the outset. We had the previews that showed, the fake arrival of Darkseid, like Darkseid arriving and killing everybody, and that's a kind of prelude to the event itself. That stuff is just like, this is what is going to happen if the heroes can't get it right. Time Trapper is giving them all this information. I sort of looked at this as like this is taking place right after the events of the Superman issue we just read.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah. In conjunction with the Justice League Unlimited issue, which is on the Watchtower. Yeah. So this is probably right after JLU.
Yeah. And the special, the
Omega.
Yeah, the Omega, whatever that was called.
Effect.
Yeah. So, and then everything after that is just kind of setting the stage for the actual tournament. There's not really a ton of tournament stuff here. It's just the heroes dotting their T's or crossing their I's, dotting their T's, whatever the fuck that phrase is. And, setting the villains aside, making sure that Earth is safe, establishing the stakes, and then boom goes the dynamite. You get the first sort of brawl, and everyone who is left after that are the 32 actual combatants. and that's it.
Yeah. Opening volley, for sure. I really enjoyed this. I had some issues with it, but at a certain point, this was my pick of the week. It isn't, but it almost was. I really like this. I thought the Javi Fernandez art was really good. That kind of got me throughout the story. There are some bits here that I think he does really good faces. Everyone looked distinctly different from one another. His Batman with like a 5 o'clock, maybe even a 6 o'clock shadow, was a little iffy for me. But I really enjoyed the way everyone kind of had this look of determination that kind of storytelling wise sets them into where their mindset has to be for this big brawl that they have to do to decide who's going to take over this dark side energy. The issues I had with it were that it was a little exposition-y. Sorry, it was a lot exposition-y.
Yeah.
That is the majority of the book. But hey, if you're going to do exposition, at least they gave good lettering for it. I found the lettering to be very interesting for what is the Heart of Apocalypse being the narrator. I thought I was like, oh, that's a new font I haven't seen before. That looks cool. And then I had some issues once we got to the big brawl. That was like, oh, did I skip a page? What happened here? But all in all, where the book kind of sets up everything, gets our opening volley that felt a lot like, you know, the opening to like the Hunger Games, where they all run to the cornucopia to get weapons, or for like Battle Royale, where it's like an opening volley where it's really hectic. That was a lot of fun. So I think I'm going to have fun with this series as a whole.
Yeah, there was a bunch of exposition,
Yeah.
and that is what issue one of events. That's the downside of the kind of event that I tend to prefer. The kind of event I tend to prefer is one that has been built towards for some time. But this event, while that is true, they can't presuppose that everyone reading it has read
Sure.
everything leading up to it. So you kind of have to take that on the chin. Um, I wasn't as hot on the art as you. I thought the faces were not great a lot of the time. Sometimes they were. Like, I think Joker looked great. Superman, I kind of waffled on. I didn't think he always looked too great. So there were some spots that I didn't love the art in. Um, and the way it all came together felt super clean. Like, sort of, not that I wish that Earth was in peril, because I get why they didn't want to do that, but it was just so clean.
In the sense of like the evacuation and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my head, I'm like, man, we could barely deal with a peace treaty in real life. What is this utopia that is the DC universe, where all the world leaders are like, cool, let's just do this?
Yeah, I kind of wish they just would have been teleported somewhere else, or like this happened in a pocket dimension or something. It just, I don't know, there was just very clean.
Or the whole story is the Titans and Mr. Terrific are on Earth, right? Still trying to help things. Show that. Or at least it's like have the humans there, but they're there to protect them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get that. That's fine. It was a contrivance that they kind of just needed to hand wave and get past.
Yeah. I mean, this is an issue that's kind of weird to talk about, because, to be honest, everything that it is everything we knew that it would be, and Snyder doesn't really do anything to make it interesting throughout. Like, I'm not passing on this. I enjoyed it fine. The narration that comes from the heart of Apocalypse is all right. It's throughout the entire book. I didn't mind it, but there's nothing to it. Like, it's not revelatory. It's mostly telling us shit that we know.
Well, it's telling us stuff that it knows that the heroes don't know. So I think it gives the reader a perspective that even the characters don't have. Especially with the reveal at the end that, like, oh, there's a traitor, So I think there is a storytelling usage for it.
Can you cite another example of that?
I think that's the key example.
But can you cite another one?
The absolute trinity being in this. It
I'm
knows a lot more than the characters know.
Yeah, I guess my point is that outside of those obvious examples, that doesn't happen otherwise. And so for the most part, you're reading things that are happening on the screen, like the screen. You're reading things that we can see or that we know, and that is not enjoyable to read.
Well, I'm saying we know it. I'm saying the characters don't.
I get it, but like uh as he walks with Lois, John, and Kara through the city he loves, Clark reminds himself that this is for them, all of them, all those heartbeats, the myriad of them, all sacred. I'm saying that that stuff is obvious on the page. The narration is reiterating stuff that we can see.
Sure.
It's not revealing anything interesting. So I'm just commenting on that.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
Um, there's a lot of like putting pieces together and planning and stuff like that. So it's just a ton of setup for something that looks like it's probably going to end up being fun though.
Yeah. I thought once we actually got to they go to his guitarist, the hole that gets you to the center of the DC universe or the DC's Earth, and that opening race happens to the finish line. I thought I was like, all right, now we're in what this book is, and Snyder's having some fun with this. That whole opening scene with all of like these characters that like never get any play. I found a lot of it to be funny. Like Ambush Bug showed up, which it's a shame Marco's not here to talk about that. But even Damage showed up from fucking Didio's New 52, or Didio's, what was it, DCU or
The
Dark, yeah, Dark Metal or some shit like that. Yeah. So like he shows up. There's a great bit with Shazam that happens. Like I think that stuff's a lot of fun. I thought it was hilarious when Adam Strange gets zipped out before he can actually do the challenge, which is like, oh, that's a great bit for that character. So once we were actually in it, I was having a lot of fun with the characters.
Yeah, that was good stuff that Snyder. I feel like I was a little surprised by that. Uh, just like how fun it got so
Like a
fast,
tonal change.
Yeah. The bit with, was that Ambush Bug who's like, oh, it's time for that obscure character.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that was great.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they don't even say who he is.
No, it's
That
just,
was
if
that
you
was
know,
great.
you know. Yeah, that's the thing. It's good. See, I think the tunnel shift is smart from a narrative point too, because yes, I did get whiplash there as well, because everything's like, oh, it's the end of the world. Oh, Superman's being mopey. Then we go into this, and then it's like a game, and I think that plays with the theme of the board game that starts off this thing. Even those pages when we're in that battlefield are in the shape of the board game. It's like a Candyland map. So we're playing through this game, essentially. It's what it is. It's a game. And I think the tone shifting to be fun is trying to give you this false sense of security that Superman is trying to convince himself of. He's like, okay, it's just a game. I need to get through it. And then the Batman of it all happens, and it's not funny anymore. It's to then whiplash you right back. So I think Snyder was doing a good bit there, playing around with those things.
And we'll probably see that push and pull happen throughout,
Sure.
because this is all about Superman's morality and what he's willing to do in order to beat Darkseid, and so we'll see how that plays out. But I really like the framing and the tones that we've established here.
Yeah.
What about the villains? So they try to lock away the villains that they feel they just don't want on the board for this, and they get out anyhow. So it's Lex, it's Joker, it's King Shark, a few other players, and now they're in the picture. So we all knew, or we all had a strong hunch that Joker would end up in this.
Yeah.
I called, and I think a lot of people called. It wasn't any big call that Batman wouldn't actually be involved in this. He just gets killed. Like it's not like oh, I've got to go do something else over here. He's just out. He got eliminated.
And it doesn't help that the solicits show that he has his own side quests happening throughout all of this. Yeah. I don't know how he gets from where he is now to that, but we knew he wouldn't be a part of this in some form or another. And we knew the villains had to show up because we had the bracket. You know, all the characters that make it through here are the ones that were on the bracket. Yeah. So if you're tapped into DC stuff, none of this is really a surprise. I do like the idea that like Mr. Terrific and the Justice League can just apprehend every villain that they want, and they have them all on a list of based on power level. It's like, oh, if you're a 6 or above, you're like Captain Cold, I guess, was fine, but Mr. Freeze is a 6. I had issues with that.
Yeah, I don't love that.
That feels like we're in Civil War II territory. But I think that'll also come into play for Lex's story throughout this. And I think you need those villains there too to have that thematic push and pull that you're talking about.
Yeah, the ones who are willing to go as far as, you know, needs to be gone in order to fulfill this omega meter, so to speak. And then yeah, as you teased earlier, there is the shot of the absolute Trinity. We can see their lower halves. Yeah. Batman's there, Wonder Woman, and Superman. They're there in the shadows, and then turn the page, and I guess Darkseid is also he's impersonating one of them.
Booster.
Not one of. Sorry?
He's impersonating Booster.
Oh, is he Booster? Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
Goggles. Yeah, it's his goggles. That he's gotcha. Been within Booster almost like a Trojan horse this entire time.
I love it.
I love that Booster's getting play. You know, even though he's kind of getting played, he's getting play though.
Well, DC's been figuring out how to do that all year.
Yeah.
How to take characters who don't necessarily have a platform and make them relevant throughout these books. Yeah, they're not selling a Booster Gold #1 right now. Maybe they will in the future. I could see that happening. But if you're a fan of Booster Gold, he's front and center into the major storylines we've been dealing with for a year.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you think? Go ahead.
I was going to say the absolute of it all was a surprise.
Yeah, I was going to ask you actually, how do you think that they factor into this whole thing?
So we know in Superman did travel to the Absolute Universe, what appeared to be the far end of the Absolute Universe on a timeline, where the Legion was taken over, right? They allude to it being as much. And then Darkseid, or the Heart of Apocalypse, shows that this is what he calls them, their horsemen, or how does he just describe?
His 3 destroyers, horsemen from a world where his rule is absolute.
Yeah, so we know at some point the Absolute Universe does get taken control of completely by Darkseid. Is that narratively where all those books go? I don't know. I almost want to separate it in my mind. And just the idea that if it's a world that is controlled at its core by Darkseid and Darkseid energy, that Darkseid created, everything kind of comes to him at the end. He is the Omega. I can see that being the end, but I don't like that tainting the idea of what's going on in the stories for those books.
So here's my theory as to what you're talking about. They the whole time is broken thing and all that really feels out of place. I don't think that you necessarily need all those pieces to tell this story. But if you're using the absolute characters, then maybe you do. Because what we know is that Darkseid is winning backwards. He won in the future, and he's winning backwards. So we also have seen an image that shows Darkseid and Absolute Superman together. That's from the future.
Yeah.
So my theory is that in the future, in both universes, Darkseid wins. And these absolute characters we're seeing here are the future versions of them, not the current ones. So it won't change their story because obviously the future is always fake in comics.
Sure.
It won't change their story, but we can still use them as villains in this because they're from the future, just like the Legion.
Yeah, that's kind of where I landed on it as well. That it is a potential of this world that Darkseid controls, and him bringing that forward, or bringing them backwards to the present.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is some real
Yeah.
Doctor Who wibbly wobbly timey wimey shit though. If you get into it,
This is so awesome. So awesome. I'm still not as like into the tournament gimmick of this as a lot of other people, which is cool. I'm very open to being wowed and surprised, but all the stuff that happens around that and like the mysteries of it and everything else is very, very exciting.
agreed. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this.
Yeah. Easy pull.
Yes, pull for me as well. Yeah.
And let's see what the audience thinks. Every book we review on this show, the live audience has a chance to give their thoughts on through the polls that we put up for every book. You guys said 65% pull, pick of the week 27%, pass 6%, didn't buy or read is only 2%. That is a very high affirmative rating for this comic.
It's an event, so like I kind of expect it, especially from our audience, which is definitely not a DC audience.
Right. But if it's good, it's good. I mean, a lot of people in our audience shit on One World Under Doom. I think this book, is doing things that people want. Like it is what it says on the tin.
Yeah, yeah, and it also had build up to it that that was planned. This is a culmination of a set of plans.
Yep. Yeah. I'm with you, Steve. Steve Canaris. Happy birthday, by the way. Happy belated birthday, Steve Swarm Canaris. One of my favorite dudes. Love getting to talk to you in the Patreon hangouts. Really smart guy. He said, pull for sure, but I'm hoping it gets better. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Evan Dalton says, what's up, pals? Just jumping into the stream. DCKO is absolutely killer and blew my expectations out of the water. I would say this was better than I expected. Like I enjoyed it more than I thought
I would. I was whelmed. You know what I mean? Like this is kind of what I expected. This is what I expect out of a Scott Steiner event. Does that make sense? Because it does kind of feel metally. Like Snyder has a certain feel that his events have all had, where none of them have been, none of them's Identity Crisis. But this is kind of what I expected. Yeah, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, it's what I expected. I liked it more than I expected to, and I think issue 2 will be the real test. Definitely.
Did you like the allusion to Dr. Manhattan and New 52?
No. No, I didn't.
It's like they mentioned it. I can't say his name though.
I don't care for those kinds of things. Just let it be. I don't know. Eric Garza says, I laughed at what read like a fun jab at the Ultimate Universe. Something about if they do nothing, they just exist in a bubble. I'm not sure if that was a reference to the Ultimate Universe.
It's a reference to any multiverse or any alternate universe. That could just as well be a reference to the Absolute Universe.
Yeah, I think so. You know what, Tyler? You asked me if I got a blind bag.
Sure.
And I am prepared to tell you now that I, in fact, did get a blind bag.
How blind is it?
So it's blind as they come.
Ooh.
Lights Out edition. DCKO blind bag. Am I holding this baby right?
Yes. Yeah, you are. Yeah.
I didn't know what was in these. I asked the worker, and this is why I dislike people. I shouldn't say this.
Okay. Yep. Think about it.
This is why I don't like asking for help, because people will tell you things that are incredibly dumb. Now, I don't work in Midtown Comics. It's not my job to know what's inside the blind bag, but you do work there. So, and you got to figure people are going to be asking you all day. So I asked this guy, do you know what's inside the blind bags? And he's like, well, no, they're blind bags. And no one has opened one of them in front of me, so I'm not sure.
What a dipshit answer.
And now, I didn't know it until I got one myself, but now I know the fucking answer. Because on the back, it clearly says each bag includes one randomly inserted foil variant cover by a superstar artist.
Yeah. To be fair, Sean, we also did do a news segment on this. So there is a Sean that knew this at one point.
There is a Sean that knew this at one point. You are 100% right. But that Sean wasn't at Midtown that day. But
No,
you know who
this guy.
was? A guy who gets paid money to answer fucking questions about what is inside blind bags. But enough about my rant about retail workers.
What's in this blind bag? I don't know.
Let's
it's a
see.
blind bag.
Like, are you fucking kidding? Like, am I the asshole here? You're going to tell me it's a blind bag?
Honestly, funniest answer you could have given.
Amazing.
I'm with him on this one. That's good.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I'm going to open this up.
Are you going to be doing it? Are you going to reveal it to the stream first? You going to look at it? How are we doing this? It's not like a Pokemon pack where you like put a card behind and then.
No, you guys are just gonna see it. I don't know if this isn't whatnot.
I hate whatnot.
How the fuck do you even? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Look at that landfill.
Yep. Oh yeah, I love it. When I die,
All right.
the land is gonna have
foil.
a big time problem.
It is foil.
There's foil. All right, I'm doing a job here. Oh fuck!
Oh, sick, dude.
Wow, that's crazy.
Hell yeah.
I didn't expect this at all, dude.
I think it's either that one or the Danny Warren Johnson one would have been the ones I wanted.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, that's cool, dude. That's Hangman right there. Sick.
Nice, man.
Is that
I
really
saw
one
low.
out of 1,000?
Is it? I don't know.
Hold on. I'm looking up this because that's fucking wild if it is.
I saw Lobo and I was like, ah, fuck. I don't like Lobo.
Well, you didn't get Lobo, so.
No, he's on it.
Oh, wait, oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I was thinking of something else. Yeah,
Awesome.
I don't know. DCKO blind bag rates.
Kenneth Williams says it's 1 out of 1,000. Huh.
If it's 1 out of 1,000, man, you got fucking lucky there. Does it have it on the cover or on the back?
No, that's what I was looking for. It doesn't appear to suggest that. Kenneth Williams follows up and says, "No, it's not." All right.
Okay,
so
man, you got all these people fucking with you today.
just jerking my chain, dude. Just jerking my chain.
He was summoning it. There's a stream delay
Okay.
there. What's the 1 in 1,000? What is it? Oh, Greg Capullo.
Capullo.
Yeah.
Ah, damn
on
it.
I've cooled on him.
I kind of want to get another. No, I actually don't.
This is how they get you, Sean.
I don't want it anymore. Yeah. So yeah, John B says I think this was the base rarity. That because I didn't see this variant in just the stable of variants, non-foil. So I'm wondering if this comes regular or just foil.
The regular, I think, will be being sold at New York Comic Con at the DC booth because I did see that in their listing of things, and it didn't look like a foil variant.
Got you. Okay. Cool.
Which is what I actually was hoping to pick up. So.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd prefer it non-foil, but hey, whatever. I want to see other people's pulls though. Did nobody else buy the blind bags? Ah, John V, you're funny. We can't buy Marvel gimmicks, but we do buy DC gimmicks. No. There's so much lore there, bro. There's so much lore. The Red Band books that have a non-Red Band alternative feel like ripoffs. Because Blood Hunt, I bought every issue of that shit Red Band, and the regular version, after a few issues, was basically the same thing.
And the gimmick there was not a gamble. This is gambling. This is what this is. The blind bag is gambling.
That's true.
The Red Band was, hey, we just can't have this open for children to read, because it's violent. So they were expressly stating the interiors were worth more when they weren't.
Yeah, and it was just horse shit, dude. Like, it was complete bullshit. Look, Hayden's Hideout Near says don't relapse. Dude, I'm not going to tell you what my final tally was today, but it was the highest I can recall it.
Oh, boy.
With just comics.
You got that receipt and you were like, geez.
I I was rethinking life choices.
Your New York Comic Con spending money is gone.
I was having a nice conversation with the woman who was ringing me up.
Oh, you liked her though, but you didn't like the other guy.
Oh, he was a dick. He was. So why am I talking about this right now? We should be reviewing comics. I'm sorry. I have a certain energy today. Okay. So first of all, I need to let you guys know that tomorrow there will not be a show because we will be at New York Comic Con. All right. That being said, there will also not be a show Saturday because we will be at New York Comic Con. So the next time we will be live is Sunday night, very likely at 8 p.m.
That's the plan.
That is the current agenda. So set your watches to it. We're gonna be all over the con. It should be a blast. Hopefully, we will be able to get you pictures and stuff throughout the weekend, things like that. It's busy though.
Approach us. Don't like if you see us, feel free to talk to us. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
In fact, I prefer it.
Someone was saying they were trying to figure out like if we were like what kind of approach would be best for each of us. And so they said that for you and Marco, or that you strike as a hugger.
Oh no.
See, they were completely wrong because they said you're a hugger and I am a handshake. And I am actually, I know that I come across probably as unapproachable. I am a hug. And you are not a hug.
I'm a handshake. Or like
right.
Like a fist bump. The hug, you can get to the hug. I wouldn't deny a hug. I wouldn't go for a hug originally.
Yeah. I prefer hugs with all people, unless they're smelly.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they're properly deodorized,
which again eliminates the majority
of New York Comic Con attendees.
Yes.
Not the PALS verse, though.
Right. Exactly. Which hopefully there will be some PALS members in the attending New York Comic Con audience. One of them is in our chat right now. Catherine Stars will be at New York Comic Con. So we'll have to link up. Yeah, what's the cosplay? I don't even know. I know her in real life. I don't even know the cosplay. Dylan says Sean being a hugger is the plot twist of the week. Is it really? I'm such a lovable guy.
Big Bailey fan, right?
Yeah. No, and also Dylan, stop playing with my name, okay? Because you are misspelling my name now on purpose, and people who know me in real life know how much I dislike that.
Damn, he's getting you.
Yes. Dex Baker, yeah, we'll say hi to Sal if we see him. Well, we got to take a picture with him last year. It was very cool. He's good. He's a good dude.
Tall dude.
Yes. All right, let's talk about Absolute Batman number 13. This was written by Scott Snyder. Double dose of Snyder. One could say it's Scott Tober all over again.
Oh, God.
I'm sure that haunts his dreams.
I'm sure he likes it. You get a whole month named after you? That's insane.
For a guy who has anxiety problems, I don't know if that's actually such a good thing. But
does he?
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Oh, okay.
Well, I should say we have talked about that before.
Sure. Yeah.
Scott Snyder, Nick Dragata, Frank Martin on the colors, letters by Clayton Cowles. So this was the big one that introduces us to Selina Kyle proper. She's appeared in little bits in previous issues, but this really gives us her. And she shows up on the doorstep of one Batman and Alfred Pennyworth. And Bruce isn't too happy to see her. In fact, he wants her out. He wants her gone immediately.
Sure.
The very next thing they do is have sex.
This is toxic relationship in comics right here. I dug that. That was a great jump cut.
Then they go on a date to the amusement park.
Yeah.
But not to hold hands and buy cotton candy, actually to meet up with and shoot at the Red Hood gang. Many of them are teenagers. We get introduced to Absolute Harley Quinn, and Batman changes the game on Bane. How'd you feel about this one, man?
This is my pick of the week.
Me too.
Easy. I love this issue. I thought the dynamic between Absolute Batman and Catwoman was a lot of fun. It was antagonistic, but implicitly trustful with each other. The fact that, you know, they're arguing at one moment and they're calling each other out on their shit immediately. You know, Selena, I mean, not immediately. They did fuck first. But, you know, you get that out of the way.
Right.
You know, Selena, you know, she sees Batman's new Venom back knee and she calls him out on that. And he calls her out on her fucking Black Mask helmet, which I thought was a great call out because I think people were talking about that since her design was shown. It was like, whoa, that's a lot like Black Mask. What's going on there? There is something there. So I love that dynamic between the two. And I love the dynamic of like Alfred playing as the friend who knows you have a toxic relationship with your ex and he'll call you out on it, but he knows you're not going to listen to him. And I was like, this is a good role for Alfred here. That bit. And then we get to the part with Batman taking over the airwaves. And I was like, yep, this is my pick of the week. This Batman is Batman AF.
I think this is probably my favorite issue of the series so far.
Wow, that's saying something.
Yeah, this book is unbelievable. I cannot believe that it is so good and that I'm getting to be here now while this is coming out because I know people are going to talk about this in 20 years in a big way. And I've been saying it since this book started. It sounded crazy at first. I really feel like 13 issues deep, it's undeniable now. This book is something special.
I mean, even look at it. The whole page there that I have up on the screen of when Batman and Selena are heading to the boardwalk, it's Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah,
it's literally an homage to Miller, and I think in doing that, like, sure, that's just an homage, but this book kind of feels like it's doing something similar for Batman that Dark Knight Returns did way back in the 80s, but in a more modern lens. And I thought that was really cool just to tie those two books to each other visually.
I mean, they've been doing it since the beginning.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And even the little bits here too, like Bane is an awesome character. We've seen him throughout this, but the small bit with him, kind of being quiet, talking to the people. He's like, it's like, a guy who knows he finally found his replacement at his job so he could retire finally. And I almost felt for him a little bit. It's like this guy is being controlled and he wants out. And I was like, man, that's also Snyder understanding who Bane is. Yes, Bane is a horrible person in mainline and this comic, especially this comic. But there's always a gray area with Bane that makes you empathize with him a bit. And that's showing a little bit here. It's peeking through the facade. I thought that was really good too.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Thanos,
Sure.
How he finishes his mission, goes to become a fucking farmer. It's humanizing a character that is an abomination, and it's getting to the point where I kind of prefer the absolute versions, at least of Catwoman and Bane at this point. And that's weird to say. They just feel so clearly defined, so fast.
But because it can be. It has, hindsight's 2020. It has an idea of what made those characters work throughout their entire histories and synthesizes it to its purest form, which I think Snyder has done with those characters. And I even think he's done it with Batman as well. This is really cool to see on the page.
Yeah. I just flat out prefer this story. I really do. Like, and as I was reading this, I had in the back of my mind the fact that this that Absolute Batman trade volume 1 was on the top 5 of the bestseller list, the New York Times bestseller list.
Yep.
And I was like, well, does this issue keep that same energy? Does this issue do the things that I think would appeal to the people that it's been appealing to? And in my mind, it's a resounding yes. And I'm seeing why, because I'm looking for it now. This is a younger Bruce, much younger Bruce, who feels much more like a young person of now. He's first of all, that's a big boy. He looks like You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
that's a big boy, and he's like almost unrealistically big, but that's not something that's abnormal. Like that's just what it is,
Yeah, that's not
you
the
know?
story.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's him and his girl in the flashbacks against the world. There's something you can really connect with about the messaging of that.
Yeah, and I think the fact that he's not rich has kind of played a part in bits and pieces here, but I think it also jumped out again. It's him being able to speak once he does that television, airwave thing. Um, he's able to speak to the citizens of Gotham as one of them, which made him that more believable in what
Yeah.
he was saying. And also it makes the venom of it all scary because this is a Batman with limited resources, allegedly. He still has a lot of shit. But once he's given, or once he has the chance to take some of the weapons being used against him for himself, that's going to be a temptation for him. And using the venom against Bane is a temptation. But even though we know that it's dangerous, even Catwoman reiterates it here and even leaves him because of it. So there is that idea of like addiction as well in this character. That is a very everyday man situation, especially when it comes to like painkillers and stuff like that. I wonder if this is a bit of an opioid epidemic, illusion that Snyder's getting to.
You mentioned him being one of the people, and something that is critical about Batman that I think a lot of people don't think about, but Scott Snyder clearly did. Bruce Wayne in mainline doesn't actually live inside Gotham. Like he lives in Gotham like in a mansion just outside Gotham type
Yeah,
shit. Like
yeah.
he could throw a rock as hard as he could and not hit another soul.
It literally
This
overlooks Gotham.
right.
Yeah.
This version of Bruce lives inside of Gotham. That's a very different thing. And again, it's the bat that's the Bruce Wayne of now, of
It,
today.
and not only does he live there, his family does. He still has family, so he has
Yeah.
roots here that are regardless of himself matter.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just such a great book. And, taking it back to Catwoman, there's been a lot of anticipation of her debut here. And I think Snyder doesn't just deliver. He presents a version of the character that feels immediately enrapturing.
Yep.
I want to see her all the time now. I want her to be on every page. She's interesting and compelling. I want to see her secrets peeled back.
And I like how throughout the series, we're what 13 issues in, um, they've teased her, they've shown her in flashbacks, like we know of her history with not just Bruce but all of his friends too. So seeing that kind of really colors who she is as a character and adds depth, even though this is technically the first time we're seeing her. Even that one bit where like Batman talks about how what Bane did to his friends, and Selena reminds him, she's like, they're my friends too. I understand that. So like that, there's just history here that we get bits and pieces to that is just really, really compelling.
Completely agreed. Atomic Hound dropping a huge super chat
Thank
bomb
you.
on us, 49.99. Thank you so much, Hound. Says can't stay tonight, but really glad those two big books hit home for you guys. Enjoy New York Comic Con and split a taco between you at New York City prices from the kennel. Wow, Hound, thank you so much. I really wish you were going to be able to make it. New York Comic Con is a centerpiece of our shared hobby, but not everybody is there. I wish all of you could be there.
That'd be
Hopefully
cool.
one day, Hound. I know, right? Hopefully one day we can share not a taco together because I don't eat taco, but maybe we can share.
You don't eat taco?
No, no, I don't.
Huh.
People tend to put cheese on their tacos.
Yeah,
I
you can
don't do
skip the
that.
cheese. An authentic taco really has onion, cilantro, and steak.
Yeah, yeah. I have had them. I never really cared for them, but yeah. This version of Catwoman is awesome. I really like her.
Same. I like the design too. I'll be honest. When I first saw the design, I wasn't too hot on it. Seeing Dragota's take on it, I was like, okay, now I get it.
Yeah,
The art germ variant didn't hurt either.
No. None of them variants hurt, man.
and there's a lot.
Yeah. They went hard. What do you think about the design of the new Harley Quinn, the Absolute Harley?
Um, that's just anyone that hangs out at Rubalad in Brooklyn.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's just people I see every weekend. I'll say hi to Harley probably next weekend. So I'm too busy at Comic Con this weekend. It's a very modern take on the character. I'll be curious to see if there is, if Snyder will tie her to Joker in some way.
Yeah.
Maybe she was, I don't know, Joker's intern or like his protege, and she rejected it all. I don't think it's going to be romantic. There's too much of a problematic age gap there. But I'll be curious to see if that is tied in. Or he could make the decision to not tie her to Joker at all, because technically that's her current status quo.
I really hope there's no tie-in. I think a lot of modern DC tends to want to go away from that tie-in, so I'd be sort of surprised, outside of the fact that she's the leader of the Red Hood gang.
Sure.
That is probably, in my mind anyway, as far as the tie-in goes, but we'll see. I loved absolutely everything about this issue. This is one of the best comics of the year to me. I am so beyond here for Absolute Batman that I can't put into words. It's I don't think I have ever read straight 13 issues better than this in my life. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know if I have. It's just 13 straight fire issues. I'm not sure.
Where was Snyder's original Batman run by issue 13? Death of the Family at that point?
Sounds about right. Maybe.
Okay, and I was a little lukewarm on Death of the Family, so yeah, that tracks. Oof, I'll be honest, I can't think of one off the top of my head. Maybe Wade's Daredevil, but that's a personal taste. It's definitely up there.
I mean, if I really stretch my brain, to me this is up there with the likes of Ultimate Spider-Man 1 through 13, Hickman New Avengers 1 through 13. All that's like the tippy top of what I love.
I mean, the Ultimate Spider-Man of it all is a pretty apropos comparison, though, because I feel like this is doing what the Absolute Universe is doing, what the Ultimate Universe did originally for Marvel for DC. The amount of people I see talking about the Absolute Comics is insane. Streamers who I've never seen talk about comics before are talking about this book. I saw them starting to talk about DC KO too. The people who are into Absolute are picking up KO now because it's a big number one. Yep. And this is exactly the plan, and it's working perfectly for DC. If I'm at DC right now on like the board or whatever, I am fucking psyched. They should get a. I'm not capitalist Andy over here, but they need an end of year bonus, because whatever they planned this year fucking worked.
Seriously, yeah. Just hats off to everybody. What a banner year for DC all around. And this is both of our pick of the week. So
sure,
no more suspense about that part of the show, but we do have more books to read and review. 56% of you pulled this, 25% pick of the week, 15% didn't buy or read, passes 4%. The pick of the week at least the pick of the week percentage there is very similar to the DCKO one.
Sure.
That's interesting. What are you guys saying about this? Cole says he either kills Bane or Bane joins Batman after they fight. Thought it was interesting. Bane seems like he wants to be done with Joker. Yeah.
He does. Joker was only used to free Santa Prisca. Like that was Bane essentially sacrificed himself for his nation.
Yeah.
He wants out of this.
I don't know if redemption is on the table for Bane.
I'm afraid that Batman will kill Bane, and that's how he breaks the bat. He mentally breaks him.
Yeah, like that. I think that's a very compelling question. If this same exact story played out in mainline, I wouldn't give a flying fuck by the end, because he's not killing anybody.
Yeah.
But that is not a question, or that is a question mark in this universe.
We don't know if this Batman has a no-kill rule, right? Like, sure, he's trying not to, but he fucked up some of those Black Mask guys.
Kicked the fucking kid off a roof.
Which Selena also doesn't like kids in this. Can I ask a question? When you're reading Bruce talking to Selena and he calls her say, He just says
Right.
S-E. I couldn't
Yeah.
pronounce that in my head.
I'm hearing say, but
Selena?
that's probably wrong. Yeah.
But it's not C.
hey, C. That sounds weird.
I have a good friend named Selena. I don't call them C.
Right.
Maybe Lena maybe works better.
I don't know.
Nitpick. Still my pick of the week.
Jason Garza DC just feels like the universe is moving forward and Marvel is just trying to maintain status quo. Oh man, dude, we have talked so much about that. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Banksy Main, I was starting to think my theory of Croc dying was wrong till I saw the Whalen flashback and him popping up at the end. Yeah, he could. Yeah, I could see him die. I could see that. I don't know.
That
Not,
breaks Batman? No, I think you need those guys around. You need his rogues gallery around. Bane is the one who thematically, like, if he breaks the bat, then his job is done and he's narratively useless.
yeah. All right, let's talk about Batman Dark Patterns number 11. I am so sad. This is the penultimate issue. There's
Yeah.
only one more to go. This is written by Dan Waters with art by Hayden Sherman as ever. Triona Farrell on the colors, Frank Vekovic on the letters. The Child of Fire is trying to burn Gotham down to rebirth for it to have a rebirth, and it's burning down significant places of significance in the history of Gotham, Gotham's relationship with fire. There was a question as to who the Child of Fire is. We get that answered pretty definitively here, which I liked. Bruce is pushing past the limits of his humanity to try to chase down the Child of Fire, which is causing him to have hallucinations as he uh, searches down this mystery as Batman. Um, and I think by the end, we have the setup for the makings of a very epic finale to this series.
I gotta say, right off the bat, I was excited to see Firefly.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. The team's also bringing, like what they did for Scarface, kind of a focus on a lesser known rogue. So that was cool. I think this is becoming, it's not as, like, this arc is not as bombastic as the Scarface one, or even the first book with the guy with all the pins in him. But there's something quiet about this book that I find compelling. Because it is a little more cerebral. It's about this, journalist who prefers the scandalization, the storytelling of Gotham and how it's myth over anything, and is recreating these mythical fires that built Gotham to what it is, juxtaposed to the realism of Gotham. And that dynamic is then showed between him and the coroner, Dr. C. Sisma, whatever. But also the two sides of Batman in and of himself, detective versus the Batman. And I thought it was a really interesting kind of summation of Waters' thoughts on Batman, externalized in this story. So I'm really liking that as a feature, and I also like how the Batman is reacting to it all, because he is handicapped here. I'm talking from like a sports sort of way, like a golf way, but like he's playing behind the eight ball, and that makes that compelling as well. And then the Hayden art is like, it's Hayden art. I mean, what more can we say about that? It's just fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, each arc is only 3 issues. So I feel comfortable saying this because there's only 1 issue to go. This is probably my second favorite arc.
Okay.
I have loved it so far. This issue is amazing, I thought.
Yeah.
I can really sink my teeth into this because I completely it's very easy to understand what this villain is after, what the Child of Fire wants and what they're doing here. And that feels thematically tethered to the rest of the story we've been getting. And there's a point at which I forget what character it is, but they lay out how there's been fire in prior arcs, like in the arc with Scarface, the fire in the building,
Yep.
the rookery. Like, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Firefly points it out. He's
Okay,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, he's not the fire between you and that he trapped you with, Gordon. That was nothing. These are the ones that are important.
Right. And the design of the Child of Fire is very weird.
I don't like it.
Creepy.
It's giving me what's the android from Dragon Ball?
Oh yeah. 19?
16?
16?
Some one of those teens. He's the big baby one. Like it feels like that mixed with the Michelin tire man. Like I don't like this. It's creepy. Disturbing. Which job well done, Hayden and Waters.
Yeah, 100%. The paneling never ceases to amaze me in this book. There was a page that I stopped on, and yeah, it was this one. I had to stop and stare. It's the one.
Yeah.
It's the title page that shows that Bruce sitting with all these open books around him, and I was just stunned. Like that whole thing. If you really look at that page and you kind of like look past what fills it in, you can see the circles. You can see the circles. You can see the layout of the page. You can see the bat.
I was looking at it on the inverse, actually. So if you see the bat, what's the black shadows where Alfred is? That's a moth to a flame.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's both. Which is like, what the fuck are we doing, Hayden? Come on. Slow down for everyone else drawing comics, okay?
What the hell is this person on? Like, what are you on?
We need to confront them at Comic-Con, I think.
Dan Mora, this man has multiple arms or clones. Hayden has the ability to see inside the art of art and bring out things that no one else can conjure.
It's literally looking at the negative space and the positive space and coming up. It's like those fucking, remember those image books you would get as a kid where it's like, ooh, is it a witch or a young woman? But it's kind of both. Sure. It's like that in art. I'm like, who the fuck's doing that in comics? This is Batman we're talking about. It's not supposed to be that smart. Come on.
It's unbelievable, dude. And there are many panels. Like there's this one here that's like a pill, you know, which was cool. Like there's so many, and it's every issue. I'm so bummed that like this is ending.
It is. But I am excited for that collection.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like up on my shelf next to like New Frontier and shit.
Concurrently, we reviewed them back to back just now. 2 Batman books releasing side by side that stand shoulder to shoulder with some of the greatest stories ever told with the character in 2025, not fucking 1985. 2025.
And what was last week, Sean? It was Fractions Batman, which we also loved. Was that my pick of the week? I think it might have been.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, like double Batman pick of the weeks, week after week. Like even if you look at that was around Twitter a bit too, was the fact that the top 5 best-selling books were Batman books in September.
I didn't even catch that. That's crazy.
Yeah, which is like if you are a Batman fan, you're eating fucking good right now.
Yeah.
Not even to mention Hush Tua is somewhere. No, okay.
Yeah, better left unsaid.
Yeah, it's the Jason Todd of the books, literally.
Yeah. Pull.
Easy pull. Easy.
Pick of the week on many weeks. If it wasn't for Absolute Batman, this would have been it for me.
Yeah. I did like DCKO a lot. I don't know.
43% said pull, didn't buy a read is 40%. With this book, we have to like ignore that number because so many of you are trade waiting this. 10% pick of the week, 7% pass.
If you're trade waiting this, I think you're required to talk about it in Discord once you finish reading it.
Yeah, you know, man, it's really a bummer that they weren't able to sneak out the collected edition for Christmas time.
Yeah, so what the last issue is going to come out in November. That would be a month turnaround. And even then, that's December coming out.
Yeah.
So you can maybe a little Valentine's Day gift.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of love in this book.
Yeah.
Although we do have a lot of love for this book.
Exactly. It's a self-Valentine's Day gift.
Jason Garza said it's what happens when comic art hires talent that just isn't trying to be mainstream. I think it's what happens when the publisher is willing to stretch its legs and
Yeah.
do different things.
Even when we talked to Dan about this book, when we interviewed him, which is on the feed, go find it. Dan Waters talks about how like it was gonna be different artists each story, and then Hayden just had a good time doing it, and they just kept going with it. So it's a bit of serendipity in how this book comes about as well. Because I'm sure the editor was like, "Hell yeah, if Hayden wants to keep doing it, let's keep doing it."
Right. And it's worth saying that this is before
Yep.
Absolute Wonder Woman was a thing. Dark Patterns has been done.
Yep.
So whenever Dark Patterns was done, the only major credit that Hayden had was Dark Spaces with Scott Snyder.
Which we read, right? That was the fire one. It was Dark Spaces Wildfire, right?
Wildfire, yeah.
Yeah.
And Wasted Space, but that wasn't a major. I don't know if that's a major credit.
They broke out with Scott Tober.
Exactly. The book, the reason that they're in this position is working with Scott on those books. So, and I agree with what Dan said. What even is mainstream anymore? I don't think there's a house style anymore, at least not as much as there was in the past. I think inside the big two, we are seeing a penetration of styles that are less of what we would consider to be mass appeal.
Yes, but I also do think there is somewhat of a house style.
That's undeniable.
Yeah, I mean, look at Dan Mora. Dan Mora is probably the most mass appeal worthy artist out there. His art's so straightforward, and it's fucking amazing. Let's be honest. It is as good as like straightforward art can get. And I think there is a push to have stuff that looks similar to that, or at least can scratch that same itch for the majority of people. But then you have your Hayden Shermans, then you have your Martin Simmons who did the variant for this. You have different people out there.
And you can't look at what Marvel's been doing and tell me that they haven't been that there's not a Pepe Larraz effect.
Sure, 100%.
Over the last X amount of years.
There's almost a European effect going on at Marvel, where a lot of those artists have a European style that's kind of melded into like a Marvel Euro style right now.
Yeah. Let's get to the last DC book on the docket for the night. That is Green Lantern Corps, number 9, the last part of the Starbreaker Supremacy arc. You guys voted for it, so it won. The new poll is not up now. It'll be up tomorrow at the same time, 5 p.m. Eastern. So you guys will be able to cast your vote at that point. This is written by Jeremy Adams.
You got Jason on the mind.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Jeremy Adams with Morgan Hampton, Fernando Passerin on the pencils, Auclair Albert on the inks, Daniel Henriquez on the inks as well, and Adriano De Benedetto on inks. Gosh, 3 inkers. Colors by Lee Lowridge and Arif Prianto and Matt Herms. Dave Sharp on the letters there. So yeah, this issue brings the Starbreaker event to a close in pretty predictable fashion for the most part. It ends in a slugfest, and it's a slugfest that I didn't find to be overwhelmingly compelling. I thought I was sort of whelmed by this issue. I thought the last issue was much better. Even Corona, who makes his big return in the last issue, is here, but he doesn't do anything. He's not really
it's just a thread.
Yeah, exactly, which I love. I'm all for threads in my superhero comics. But ultimately, the Starbreakers just kind of walk into the light. And that's it. Like, they just walk into the light. It's not even a joke.
Yeah, this is a hard one for me to talk about because I feel like whatever I said last week or the last time we talked to Green Lantern is how I feel about this book. I think, in fact, that previous issue was even better because it had the reveals. It had John's sacrificial moment. It had the double page spread with all the people getting their rings. This was just the denouement of that. Like, I felt like that was the climax, not even the Starbreakers. I could honestly care less about the Starbreakers at this point. So when they got raptured into the core batteries, sure. I didn't. That's not what I cared about anymore. I cared about the lanterns and all that happening. And then the last page confused me, and not in a way that I found compelling. In a way that like I felt like I missed something.
Well, let's hold off on the last page just for a little bit. The I agree with everything you said about the last issue feeling like the end because all of our emotions were tied into that issue to like
Yep.
the things that resolved in that issue.
Yeah.
The least interesting thing about this event is the Starbreakers. Not because they're bad, just because like whatever, there's stuff to punch. The sad guy's already out of the equation.
In the last issue.
John's already yeah, like all that stuff's already resolved. I don't care about any of these people. And even some of the characters that this book is built around, and by this book I mean the core specifically, don't do a ton.
Like, what was the
It's not-
most impactful thing? Was it like when Ray's got his Red Lantern ring back?
I don't even care. I didn't care about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I find there's bits and pieces here that are compelling for the future. Like this maybe sort of truce between the lanterns, temporary. The fact that Kelly is a Green Lantern entity that has a blue ring.
Yeah.
Ray is switching over to Red Lantern again. John being gone, question mark. Like there are a lot of questions that come out of this, but the issue itself, not as good as the previous.
Yeah, I just didn't think they stuck the landing, but the event overall was really
Sure.
good.
Yeah.
So like Tyler brought up earlier, the last page does tease us with John Stewart still being alive in some form or fashion. In fact, it says it's in the dark sectors, which they dealt with in the John Stewart miniseries.
Oh yeah, the journal.
Yeah, but you see that he's just like a farmer now, and he's on some makeshift farm, a fake ass farm. Um, and the lantern ring, his lantern ring has come for him, or a lantern ring, I guess, has come for him. And it says next month, John Stewart returns to Oa, home to the entire emotional spectrum. All right, so what just happened to him in the last issue?
Didn't we just kill the dude? Like that is the quickest turnaround time I've ever seen.
Damn. They're going to bat with the time for Miss Marvel's death,
Quicker.
the death and rebirth. They're fighting for that trophy.
This is one issue after another. Yeah, Katma is there, and has Katma been dead for a bit? Katma Tui, right? Katma Tui from Earth. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she was a Black Lantern, so she was dead for a bit. I don't. Did this rebirth them? I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah, I don't know who Katma is. It's hard to know what to make of that. And again, it's long-term storytelling. Who cares? Jason, no one said they were surprised, bro. I'm not saying I'm surprised that John Stewart was there. We're referring to the fact of how was he there, because the prior issue showed him die.
I read that as Jason saying the Lanterns were surprised John was there.
Oh, oh well, that is a shock. But it's long-term storytelling. I'm sure they'll explain to us how John is back, but it kind of takes the punch out of what we just saw a little bit.
Wait an arc at least. Let me sit with the idea that John was dead for a bit.
Yeah, like give me 2 seconds.
Because even by the end of the issue, I wasn't completely sure he was dead, and turns out I was right. But like now that emotion's negated
Right away.
Yep.
And I don't know. It's hard to talk about these things because it hasn't played out yet. But generally speaking, if you're gonna kill John, in my opinion, let him be on the sideline for a little bit.
I guess maybe he didn't want to fridge one of the few black characters DC wants to push.
Yeah, so maybe don't fucking kill him in the first place.
They can't kill Guy. He's too important for the movies. What are they gonna kill Kyle again? Nobody will care.
Exactly. So they kill the black one.
Hey, they run back. He's fine.
Yeah. Pull.
Yeah, still a pull. Still a pull.
42% of you said pull. Or yeah, and the same amount said didn't buy or read. Passes 13%, pick of the week 3%. CW Gordon says there was zero punch for me. Death is so meaningless anyway, but lantern sacrifices especially have lost all weight at this point.
The lanterns do sacrifice themselves constantly at this point. I would have almost felt worse if it was like Connor, like those like non-lanterns that are hanging out with them, because that would be unexpected.
Right. Like it just felt like it felt appropriate that someone would make a sacrifice. For it to be John to me is a bit of a bummer, just because like I really like John. But yeah, of course it was gonna be somebody. But then to just negate the effect of it so quickly.
Yep.
All right, fuck it. I guess I don't care about Green Lanterns dying anymore.
I'm along for the ride though, even though the ride might have some bumps in it.
Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna. This doesn't change my feelings about the Green Lantern universe. They've been killing it so far.
Yeah, agreed.
It's been phenomenal. We've got another major book though to talk about in the Skybound space. This is Transformers 25. Gone are Daniel Warren Johnson and Jorge Corona.
Well,
returning. Well, yeah, not completely. Returning though are or joining the roster are Robert Kirkman and Dan Mora. And so yes, I did have to correct myself because Corona is very much involved in this issue for the first portion of it.
Yeah.
But we get it's kind of a hey, have you been reading Transformers? Great. Have you not? Great. Let's get you to generally understand where things are. And so you learn that Megatron is alive and unhappy with his troops because they got their asses kicked in the last arc. And he is particularly unhappy with Starscream, who's a traitorous bastard, but we always know that. And so that's what they're up to. They're going to scheme again. They're going to plot again. You know, he's gained their admiration again. So, you know, Megatron and them will be back. On the other side of things, which I really like the way they broke it down. They broke it up. They broke it up with these like black pages that just had the logo of the respective squadron on it.
I almost heard a cartoon transition sound.
Sure. Yeah. I thought that was a really nice touch. And so you know exactly what you're getting in the Corona portion because we've been getting his art in this book, and I thought it was a great choice. Like I love the way it opens, just that cold open right on Megatron's angry face. That was cool.
It's a good transition between the two runs. It's a bridge.
Yeah, agreed. And then speaking of that bridge, it goes right into the Dan Mora era, and immediately I was happy.
This bots look clean, Sean.
This is exactly what I was hoping for, exactly what I needed to fall back in love with this series.
Okay. Those robots are clean. They look really nice. But there was a part of me that preferred the Corona Danny Warren Johnson of it all. That felt a little more stylized. It felt a little more indie comics for me, where this feels like commercial, straightforward, which Kirkman and Mora is probably the most commercial creative team you can have right now. So I see the point of it. There was a bit of the pizzazz that I found missing that I so got from that previous run. But I did enjoy the issue. I did feel the creative team change, though.
Yeah, and they're very different creative teams. So I think it would be weird if you didn't. You know, I am glad that this book transitioned to a more mainstream feel just because we got the indie Transformers book and it was good, and at least for me, I'm ready to see something different now. And you know, you couldn't get any more different than Dan Mora on the book. And my biggest complaint about the prior era was a lot of times I just couldn't see what the fuck was happening. I couldn't tell the Transformers apart. I just couldn't grasp it. And here it was all very nice and clean and clear, and I totally was able to latch on to all these characters, and I was really pleased with the presentation.
So for me, I actually read the last two issues of Danny Warren Johnson's and then this. I was a little behind.
Oh,
So I think that shift was very evident for me. Yes, visually, that is straightforward. I can flip through these pages right now, and you can see the Corona art versus the Dan Moore art. Visually very different. But storytelling-wise, I felt a distinct shift. Danny Warren Johnson's run was very focused on the Autobots, but also focused on the humans and focused on those personal relationships. Even Shredhead, which was the Autobot that he created in that run, that's like a amalgamation of a couple Autobots with the memories of the humans on Earth, and is like a metal van, right? Doesn't even show up in this. He's mentioned. He doesn't show up. None of the human characters show up in this issue. Spike, all those like POV characters we had in the previous arc in run, gone. With no mention of them either. Sure, there is the idea, the Autobots. There's that page with Optimus and the little girl, right? And they have the mask and stuff. But that's just more of she's a stand-in for everyone. So storyline wise, I felt like, okay, it looks like Kirkman is going to be sticking to the Energon universe of it all. Because he's focusing on the Autobots and he's focusing on the Decepticons. And he's focusing on the greater Energon of it all. The bits where Optimus gets taken to this underground shelter, right, that the government's running. The government did not really factor into Daniel Warren Johnson's story.
right.
That was Autobots, Decepticons, and the human ramifications of it all. Big picture doesn't really exist for the Energon universe. This one introduces Miles Mayhem, which I had to look into because I recognize that is not a name that somebody can just come up with. That's the villain for the Mask cartoon show.
Oh, wow.
Which Mask had been introduced in the Energon special earlier in the year as being like another leg of this Energon universe, which was a cartoon that was essentially like a combination of Transformers and G.I. Joe without being either. So seeing how he's weaving in maybe some things that are going to be happening in the G.I. Joe of it all and all of that, and Void Rivals, it's like, okay, this book is getting back into the Energon universe of it all, whereas Daniel Warren Johnson's was very character focused, and that's where I had to kind of see the difference between the runs.
Yeah, and I think there is an element of this universe has to go somewhere,
Yes.
and Kirkman is definitely the guy to bring in if you need something to go somewhere. I hadn't really considered until I read the back matter of this that unless I'm forgetting something, Kirkman hasn't written for a property that's not his in a very long time, since 2008.
I mean, Void Rivals sort of doesn't count because it's his own creation, even though it has characters in it that aren't his. But yeah, for sure.
And so it's funny, like you said, and I don't disagree with the thought behind it. Like if you wanted a commercial title, Robert Kirkman, Dan Mora makes all the sense in the world. Kirkman not even being, a big two guy like that, but he knows what he's doing. He knows how to write that way. And I think he manages to do that style with this book without leaving other things behind. Like for me, I really appreciated the conversation between Optimus and the military dude, the guy representing the government, because that conversation felt like that guy's dialogue is pitch perfect. He never says what his name is.
Yep.
He's dehumanizing, alienating Optimus the entire conversation. He's better than Optimus. Optimus is a car. He can get it. It's fun. He's a trick, I loved all that dialogue, and the fact that they have hit it. They've had Autobots this whole time, just chilling there.
Yeah,
and Optimus is learning this. To me, the government is not being set up as an ally. It's being set up as an antagonist, which is in stark contrast to the films that made them allies. I like this direction a lot more, especially when you consider that this is definitely going to tie into G.I. Joe soon.
Yeah, and the whole energon of it all, there's factions that all have their own agendas all across this world. Like you have G.I. Joe, you have Cobra, you have Destro is kind of doing his own thing, sorta. You have the Decepticons, you have the Mask in it all with Miles Mayhem, and this, what is it? Venom, I think, is what it was called in Mask. The Shadow
Whatever
division?
the hell, Shadow Watch.
Shadow Watch or something like that. So that's another one right there. So yeah, this is rife for a war, a big energon war, and one of them has a whole cache of energon too.
Yeah, yeah. I really like this a lot. I thought this was a great start. I don't think it was as much of a gut punch as issue one of Daniel Warren Johnson's run to start. They're very different. Um, I think this is probably more palatable if
Yes.
you are typically enjoy mainstream comics. This will be more up your street, but you would be remiss to not go backwards if you enjoy what DWJ traditionally does.
Now that having finished DWJ's run, I've really, really, really enjoyed it. I think that is more my speed when it comes to comics because there's heart in it that I really enjoy. Not to say that there isn't in Kirkman's. I don't know. It's one issue in. And that's also not to say that I actually enjoyed this as well. This is a really good issue. It just was distinctly different for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Pull.
Yeah, it's easy pull for me. Sean, are you still reading the other Energon books?
Yeah.
Okay. Void Rivals and G.I. Joe?
Yeah, I love Void Rivals. G.I. Joe, I'm 2 issues behind on, I
Okay.
think. I think the last one I read was like 9. Um, but yeah, I'm really hot on Void Rivals. G.I. Joe is still strong too.
Oh.
What's up?
I'm looking at the character General Flag. He was in the Destro comic. So there's more ties into the larger Energon universe.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. These characters have been floating around and it's fun to watch them make these different appearances. I haven't been paying so much attention that I have like it all, charted out in my brain, but it is fun to see the different appearances.
Comment says who is reading Void Rivals? Do you think they get their own action figures? They are, or they already have. It might have been a San Diego Comic Con exclusive, but there was a 2-pack that had I forget the names of the characters, but the main Void Rivals guy,
Yeah,
and a Transformer with him.
Well, those are Hasbro properties, so we will 1000% be getting more toys of them because they're made distinctly to be toys. Well, they're made to be comics, but toys and everything else as well.
You got a favorite Autobot right now that's in this book?
Dude, I suck when it Optimus. Like I'm not. I suck when it comes to that type of shit. It's always going to be the main guy.
I like Beachcomber and Jazz.
Jazz is cool. Yeah, I like Jazz. I got that poll up a little late for you guys, but I don't know how many of you. Oh, I put it up. Did I put it up twice? No. Okay, I see. Yeah, 49% of you said pull, 38% didn't buy a read, pass is 13%, or pick of the week is 13%. Nobody passed. That's good. That's good. I like the pink lady at the end, says CW Gordon. Yeah, me too. She's been awesome throughout, and I like how she's now coming into the forefront as an antagonist for Optimus. I'm desperate for them to stop with the Megatron. Like we did Megatron for the whole first 24. It was awesome. I want to see someone else.
And Alita's a good. I mean, she's stuck on Cybertron though, so we'll see what that winds up being. But
which is okay because the Autobots have to figure out like what's next and everything, and the government stuff can play out, and then we can get to Alita and how they managed to get to Earth. So I'm into it. Yeah, CW, she is not new. She is not new to this book, so you've got catching up to do if you care to. As for us, we've got one more book to talk about, and that is The Punisher #1, Marvel Knights. I got the wrong cover. I'm upset with myself over that. I did not get the Dan Panosian cover A.
That's the which David Marquez variant, right?
That sounds about right.
Yep.
It in fact is. Yeah, I love Marquez, but I really like that cover A, so I'm bummed.
I'm also a cover A guy if I'm getting
Yeah,
something.
yeah, me too. Jimmy Palmiotti on the words, Dan Panosian on the art, Dean White, love Dean White on the colors, Richard Starkings, the man who designed our new
Yeah,
logo,
right up
which
there.
I hope you guys are enjoying. It
Wait,
is
there.
visible on the screen, our new logo. Um, with letters by Tyler Smith, who you may not recognize but he is a member of our community. He hangs out with us in the chat every now and then and is a frequent commenter on our Discord server.
Yeah, when I was doing Pals previews for this, I was looking at League of Comic Geeks, and I see like, oh, this guy has a fucking cool ass picture with Launchpad McQuack, and I'm like, wait, Tyler Smith, that isn't that name in the chat? And then I saw him in Discord. I'm like, that's him.
Yep. Yep. So, look, full disclosure, I don't know if this has anything to do with the previous Marvel Knights era. Probably does. But I didn't read any of that. So all I have to go off of is what happens in this issue. And again, this is not a return of the mainline Frank Castle that happened in the Punisher Red Band. This is its own thing tied only to Marvel Knights. And what is it? It is a very run of the mill Punisher, bad guys, drugs, women, you know, people who deserve to die. Punisher's going to kill them kind of story. Even if what I just told you sounds dismissive, because it is, I enjoyed this issue a lot.
Okay.
I like the typical Punisher setup because I like to see the Punisher punish people. I also like to see the Punisher get punished. This issue promises and delivers all of those things. So even though it's not a great comic, I can definitely see the flaws, and I suspect Tyler's about to pull it apart. I actually enjoyed this because it does exactly what I want Punisher comics to do.
I'm not going to pull it apart because I think you're right. It does what Punisher comics are want to do. It's just I don't care about that.
Okay.
I read this and I was like, yeah, that's a Punisher comic. If you like Punisher books, this is probably for you. I'm behind on the Marvel Knights: The World to Come, which I guess this is set in the Priest book.
Yeah.
You could have fooled me. There was nothing in this issue that pulled me towards that version. This could have been any version.
So it doesn't tie in until issue 5, I believe.
Huh?
Yeah, like it's set in that same universe, but it doesn't actually intersect with it until later.
So the solicit saying one of the other pillars of Marvel Knights enters the fray with the Punisher. How did Frank get from the killer of killers you know to the man you met in the world to come? We didn't meet a man yet.
Oh, I don't remember meeting him. Maybe he's in issue 3 because that came out today too.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Then stagger the issues because there's only 2 issues. I'm not out of date. I've read all these actually. Yeah, I read the first 2. I don't remember him showing up in that. So that part of me was like, oh, this doesn't feel like, where's the race war? Where's my race war in this?
Yeah, I was promised a race war, and I feel like
I need more race war.
Yeah, I feel like the Punisher would be, good in a race war. Like either side he's on. Like I feel like
he sees a boon to either side. Yeah.
Like you ever watch well, it's off the beaten path, but The Purge?
I have not. Is there a race war in The Purge?
The Purge, a lot of people make fun of The Purge, but The Purge is about that. Like The Purge is about class and race supremacy and how people of better classes use the Purge as a way to kill people of lower classes. That's what those movies are about.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get races mixed into all that. Yes.
I will say lettering's cool. Starkings and Tyler Smith. I think there's some, like I picked out a page here where Frank has he's about to attack this ship of people, and there's this slow hum of the rocket launcher going off, and then there's like a nice shalunk. I love a good onomatopoeia in a comic, and I think that the Punisher is a great character to play with that. So that jumped out to me. But yeah, it's just the Punisher for me has always been better as a character in other people's books for some reason. Like the most I've liked Punisher is maybe Greg Rucka's run on the book, but even he wasn't the Punisher at that point. That was what's her face, and he was the hurricane she had to deal with.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other one would be like Punisher War Journal way back when, but that's again cookie cutter Punisher.
I have liked every single Punisher book I've ever read that Frank Castle was in.
Okay.
But I also don't read. I don't just read anything that Frank Castle is in. So I
Sure.
buy based on the creative team, and every single time it's Garth Ennis, it's Rick Remender, it's it's somebody crazy good who I'm inclined to like anyway.
Sure. And then like the one with Rick Remender, he broke the mold.
Right.
He diced him up, and then he made Frankencastle. Which my god, I think that's if nobody's nominated Frankencastle for the no, that's not an indie book. God damn it, that wouldn't work.
Yep. We'll have to wait till next year.
Yeah.
You talked about the lettering, and there's a lot of sound effects in this book, and I thought they were used really well. There's a ton of violence. Duh, it's the Punisher, but a lot of it is physicality. A lot of it is punching, and especially during his fight with El Zombie, literally the name of
El Zombie.
El Zombie.
Race War, the white side aimed in that one.
My man said, "I am El Zombie." Like you can really feel those fights, like the punches. You feel them landing, the shots, and everything else. I like that there's a visceral nature to the combat here, which is how a Punisher book should feel. I think Dan Panosian was a great artist to choose because he can draw sexy characters, which this book does have, but he can also do that gritty fighting and bloody battle. And I just think this book gives you the best of both worlds. Like this page right here, right, that just shows the cigar smoking money bad guy with his hot wife. Like that page juxtaposed with the page I just showed you with all the violence and murder, that's Punisher.
This might be a hot take. I'm not sure I care much for Panosian's art.
What?
Bring up that same page, Sean.
Okay.
The one with the faces on it, right? Those look like they're in two different comics. Like one feels hyper referencey, like the man's face. Like I'm hearing what's his face from Fantasy Island talking, and the other one feels like she's from a pinup comic, even though they're supposed to be within the same world. The styles look different to me, and I just didn't really get it. Like I know his stuff is good, but it's not compelling to me, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I'm also not hot on his covers either, so I might just be a hater.
I was gonna say, I think this is the first time that I can recall seeing Panosian interiors, and after buying his covers for the last year, and I was really impressed. I really enjoyed it.
It's been a while.
It wasn't what I. Sorry.
It's been a while for sure. I've definitely seen it, but it's been a long time.
Yeah. I had fun with this. I had fun with it, and I am definitely going to see this through. I haven't read anything by Palmiotti in a little while either, and I think he, obviously he has chops. He's a legend. So yeah,
I do want to see more of El Zombie.
You will if you continue to buy this. Although I don't know how. I mean, these guys were shooting and punching each other to death, and they just kept on getting up.
I didn't like the jump either. To them being captured. It's like
that was a little jarring.
Yeah, because it said, didn't it say like meanwhile up in the air? And then it like jumped to it. Like I thought that was hiccups now. I thought that was narratively confusing.
Paul, I like this, and I'm definitely gonna be along for the ride.
Paul, I'm gonna need issue 2 to convince me to keep it though.
Okay, that's definitely valid. Let's see what the audience thinks on this book. Poll 42%, didn't buy or read 32%, passed 26%. Nobody chose it as their pick of the week. I get it. It was the only Marvel book this week that I thought was like interesting to take a look at, to add to the docket.
I did read that Hickman book, Long Shots.
Oh, okay. What'd you think of that?
I think it is the most not you book of all time.
Why?
It is literally talking about It's so wink wink at the camera to everything. It plays cute a lot. It's a Mojo story. You know, they're talking about it being canceled. They're talking about streamers. They're talking about how it's an event book that's going on right now. They're like, oh, when's the last time we had a book? I don't know. What's the longest run we had? 6 issues? That's not long. Like, it's a lot of that. And at one point, this Age of Revelation, Craven the Hunter, who's bald now, killed a whole bunch of Jeffs, the land sharks, and was snorting Rhino's horn that he had on a cheese grater.
What? Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird one, Sean.
Did you read Imperial Guardians?
I made the choice between that and this before the show because I want to at least shout out another Marvel book, but I think I picked the wrong one. Did you read it?
No, I didn't read it, but I figured if you're gonna talk, I'm like, okay, if you're gonna talk about that shit, then you must have read Imperial Guardians.
No, it was my next up. I failed you. I picked the wrong one.
It's all right. Yeah, long shots. I mean, Jonathan Hickman wrote it, but really Jerry Duggan wrote it. And I like Jerry Duggan.
Oh, I think there were bits in there that kind of were giving me like Hickman when he tries to play cute, you know, like when the non-serious Hickman books.
I hear you. I mean, his name is on all of these books.
I know. Yeah. So I don't expect him to be fully on it.
Yeah. Let's get the numbers in the chat for the stack. Tyler and I have to prepare for the day to come, so we can't hang around too long.
I'm gonna get my external batteries all plugged in.
Word. Yeah. Do you think we should bring the business cards? I mean,
no.
You get laughed at again by Rick Remender.
No, nobody does them anymore.
Yeah,
they know who we are.
Exactly.
We don't need that anymore.
I have so many business cards, dude. I have an ass load.
We got a long day tomorrow, dude. Can we say what we're doing afterwards? Is that public knowledge?
I don't know what we're doing afterwards. What are you doing afterwards?
We're going to the event.
Oh, yeah, we can say that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we're going to play some video games. We got invited to go check out the Invincible Versus after party, where they're going to reveal one of the new characters for the Invincible fighting game. I just want to, and it's also an Invincible beer coming out, so Sean gets to have free beer and play fighting games, and I think that's a sweet spot for Sean.
There is only one thing that can make that better.
Boobs.
Yeah, right. No. Well, I mean,
yeah, like, two things.
Yes, but also no, because like that's not the environment.
Sure.
But yes. So, you know,
it could be Battle Beast. Battle Beast might be, because they said they were revealing a new character, so we'll see what that is.
Battle Beast. I mean, he's going to be in the game. Yeah, he's going to be in the game. There's no way he's not. Common sense. My opinion on Jerry Duggan's West Coast Avengers is that it's pretty good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Yeah. Is there anybody like that you're specifically most excited to see?
To talk to?
Yeah.
Honestly, yes. Not excited, but one that I think we can get and I would like to talk to. I'd like to talk to Tate Brumble, actually.
I feel like Tate's accessible.
Yeah, but I think the Batgirl run that Tate's working on is so damn good. And I know we have a lot of fans of it in the Discord and the chat, but we just don't really talk about the book. So that's like a personal, like that would be fun to do. And then also saying hi to David Finch, since he'll be there and we've already kind of met him. So
totally. Yeah. Be nice to see.
He seemed to like us too.
Yeah. I don't know who I'm excited to see. Greg Rucka is probably my most excited.
I had to get an earring in advance. Be like, yo, dude, same.
Matching.
Yeah.
Picture me with an earring. Dude,
I can. Actually, I think you could pull it off, Sean.
I was supposed to have that when I was younger. My parents wanted it for me, but it just didn't happen for whatever reason. And I'm so thankful that I dodged that bullet. Because if I had an earring in my ear right now, I would rip it out.
I've been thinking about like a Young Bucks douchey dangly earring for like months now.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah. That would be hilarious or that'd be horrendous? Or both?
comma A, comma B, or column A.
And
column
honestly,
B.
that's my sweet spot. So that only solidified me getting it. All right. Claire's gonna hate to see me coming tomorrow.
Oh wow! C.W. Gordon says $24 just to read all the Age of Revelation books for this week. That's nuts.
Binary, Sabretooth, Long Shots, Amazing X-Men.
Wow.
There's the World of Revelation. So it's five times. Yeah, that's about right. Yep.
That's buck wild. Clayton says Sean would turn into a young Shawn Michaels with the HBK look. Dude, I'm just not even going to respond, man, because no.
And young HBK, for all intents and purposes, was an asshole.
An asshole, yes, he was, which, sucks, but that's okay.
He found God. He's fine now.
Exactly. I don't want to look like Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? In any era, I don't want to look like Shawn Michaels.
I'm imagining RVD doing the Shawn Michaels impression with the lazy eye. You've never seen RVD's impression?
Yeah. Oh, that. Oh, okay. All right. Let's count those numbers.
All righty, I got to get to this. All right, Hayden's Hideout with 20, Dan Trudeau with 17, MX Mothman 32, Hayden's Hideout for 22. I have no idea what my number is. Sorry. Joseph 29, Sean Ali 23, James Jones 22, Ted H 30, Entertain Me 16, CW Gordon 24, Cole 22, Jamzilla 20, Aaron Reeves 18.
Cool. Before I get into the books, Tyler Smith is here in the chat.
Oh yeah, dude.
We just got through reviewing Punisher, talking about it, man. You did a great job with that one, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, we shouted you out too. So cool. It's cool to see the community putting out shit, putting out the work, doing the do. That's not something I say.
Good stuff, dude. Everything Dead and Dying, number 2.
I read issue 1 while I was waiting for a off-Broadway black box play like 2 weeks ago. Just sitting in there reading it. It's an interesting book.
I read it yesterday and I really loved it. Issue 1. So, Aquaman number 10, Blood and Thunder number 6.
Yeah,
I've been loving that. Superman Kryptonite Spectrum 3.
Is that when did Superman take Tylenol for that?
Oh, okay. I'm not going to address that. The Power Fantasy 12. The Sacrificer 16. This was the book that caused the woman working the
register,
cash register. Yeah. Jesus, what I wanted to say, I'm really glad I didn't say.
Yeah, good.
I just have this thing I do where when I can't think of the proper word, I think of something very reductive. So, in this case, I thought of money machine, which is literally what it does. But that's not what you call that.
Wait, so if you don't know the word, your brain just de-evolutionizes it and just to its base element?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh. Yeah, it's fucked.
I think that's kind of neat.
This was the book that she stopped to talk to me about because
she had taste.
Yes.
Okay. I might have to start shopping at Midtown.
Something is killing the children. A monster hunter walks into a bar. I have no idea what that's going to be, but
you're just blindly picking up something is killing the children.
Yeah.
All right.
Marian Heretic number 1. Deluge number 1.
Oh, they had it. Sick.
Yeah, and it's an Ignition Press book. I've gotten every one of their number 1 so far, and so far, I've largely enjoyed them. Although I didn't love the one by Stephanie Williams Williams.
We should see if they have do they have a booth in New York Comic Con? It'd be cool to chat with those guys.
I hope they do, and I hope Leah Williams is there.
Yeah, we've been trying to get her on the show. We need some women on the show.
Yes. Amazing Spider-Man Torn number 1. I wish I had gotten to this. I did not.
Literally lost the poll by 1%.
That's crazy. I didn't even realize it was in the running to that degree.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 94 number 2. High Strangeness number 1. What is this? Ultimate Black Panther 21.
What is this?
Absolute Batman number 13.
Wait, you got 2 covers?
Yeah, I had to.
Did you? Do you have 3 Jenny Frison covers this week?
Yes, I think I do.
Somebody's a fan.
I am a big fan. Big fan. Batman the Long Halloween number 9.
Damn, double dipped.
DCKO number 1.
Triple dipped.
I had to get the Daniel Warren Johnson variant.
Okay, I was hoping you did get it. I was hoping you would pull it, but now that I know you got two wrestling covers.
So in total, my friends, I spent is the blind bag marked up? Yes, of course. By how much? Yo, DC ripped my ass apart.
That's $10,
this was
right?
$9.99. Yo, fucking DC, $9.99.
You don't look at the price before you buy it, Sean?
No, it was on the back.
It's always on the back.
No, it's not.
Even physical books, it's on the back.
No, it's not. It's literally not.
Well, like novels, like if it's not on the front, it's on the back.
If I didn't look at the back, I just grabbed it. I spent $22 on DCKO.
Yo, did Nier say don't relapse right in the beginning of the show? Nier?
Yeah, I did.
I believe he relapsed.
Can you take care of that super chat while I count this, please?
Yeah. Where'd it go? Dan Trudeau says, just dropping you guys some last minute moolah for the convention, and it all went to Sean's DCKO.
16 plus 7 is 23.
6, 7.
23. Anybody get that?
Let's see. 24, 22. Sean Ali. Sean Ali got it. 23.
Nice, Sean Ali. Look, your name is spelled improperly, but I will accept it anyway. If you want any of the codes to the Marvel books, which are fewer and further between these days in my stack, I must say.
You're not picking up any of those Age of Revelation books.
I'm all out.
That's a third of Marvel's output right now.
Yeah. Fuck that. So yeah, that's gonna do it for us tonight. We've got Comic-Con to get ready for. If you will be there, holler at us. We'll be very visible, largely in Artist Alley. Maybe not wearing shirts with our faces on them or our logo, depending on the day, the time, blah blah blah. But we're recognizable. 3 dudes you see every single week.
Yeah.
So
just look for the middle-aged dudes with hoodies on at a Comic-Con.
Middle-aged.
What? I guess we're old or younger than middle-aged.
Yeah. Whoa.
What is middle-aged? 40s now?
Yeah, mid-40s, 50s.
I just made myself old. So
not that I plan on living to 100, right? But I don't want to even think about the term middle age until I'm at least 45. So
sure. I was wondering what my midlife crisis is going to be.
I don't know if I want to know you at that point because I can imagine how insane it's going to be.
I'm already thinking about an earring, and I'm not even close to that yet.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You might pop out in a whole different way, bro. I don't know.
Rat tail. That's all I hope for.
Oh, wow. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you on Sunday, likely at 8 p.m. Have a great week. Enjoy your version of New York Comic Con, whether you'll be there or be at home reading all the news. Our Discord is going to have some sort of event that Atomic Hound is hosting in our usual time slot. So if you go to our Discord at 10, there'll be something going on. They're going to talk about Bloodlines, which is a terrible DC event.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So